What is going on, everybody? It's the Frost, and we're here for NXT NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool predictions. This is the first takeover for the new upstart brand of NXT UK, the NXT UK brand, with 3 title matches. One which will be decided of the first ever tag team champions between Moustache Mountain and the Grizzled Young Vets of Zach Gibson and James Drake. Toni Storm versus Rhea Ripley, and Pete Dunne versus Joe Coffey. We also have Dave Mastiff versus Eddie Dennis, and Travis Banks versus Jordan Devlin. I will be watching NXT UK TakeOver. It might not be when it goes live. It might be later in the day, but before Saturday is over, you will have a review of this show. I am going to check this out. Takeovers for NXT has been killing it, and I expect nothing less for the UK talent. All 5 of these matches should be great. Outside of Dave Mastiff and Eddie Dennis and Travis Banks versus Jordan Devlin, the 3 title matches should be something great. The first match we'll talk about is Travis Banks versus Jordan Devlin. I believe Travis Banks is going to end up taking the fall for this one. Jordan Devlin has seemed to be getting a massive push by the NXT UK division, and I don't see it stopping NXT TakeOver Blackpool. This is just a regular singles match, of course. I can see this one could be honestly the dark horse of the entire show, as being one that you're going to talk about the 3 title matches, especially the first match, the inaugural tag team title match between the Grizzled Young Vets and Moustache Mountain. But Travis Banks versus Jordan Devlin could be one of the best matches of this show. Then we have big old Dave Mastiff, Bomber Dave Mastiff, I don't know why they started calling him Bomber, versus Eddie Dennis. Eddie Dennis, of course, made his debut way back in the middle of November, I believe it was, and his big thing was that he is friends with Mark Andrews and Pete Dunne, and he was off being a principal, or their version of a principal, which I can't remember what that's actually called, in the UK. While they went off to be wrestlers, they were part of the original NXT UK, the original UK tournament in 2017, while he was off being a headmaster. Headmaster. Wasn't too happy about being that, so he was like, I'm going to go be a wrestler, I'm going to be here, and he feels slighted. Honestly, I figured he would be going after Mark Andrews, and he would have a feud with Mark Andrews, and then eventually work his way up to take on Pete Dunne, because it just feels like, why did they even have him mention that he's friends with Pete Dunne and Mark Andrews if he's probably not even had any interaction with either of the two? This one is a no disqualification match. This one is going to get heated. This one is going to be massive. And I'm saying Dave Mastiff is probably going to win this, but since it is a no DQ match, Eddie Dennis, I could see bringing out the victory in the end, but I'm still going to go with Dave Mastiff. Moustache Mountain versus Trent Seven and Tyler Bate versus Grizzled Young Vets and Zach Gibson and James Drake. This is the finals of a mini tournament. They had Moustache Mountain beat Gallus of Mark Coffey and Wolfgang to get here, and the Grizzled Young Vets beat Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews. This one has got a little bit of, I think, the Grizzled Young Vets. The obvious answer would be Moustache Mountain, because they're going to be the face. I feel like they're going to be the face of the tag team division over here. But they're not, just like Toni Storm is like the face of the women's division, but she wasn't the inaugural champion. I see Moustache Mountain losing this one because of Gallus. As I remember when I was watching all of November, is that Gallus, the time of the Coffeys and Wolfgang, I don't know who came up with that name. Please let me know in the comment section below what Gallus even means. But they were attacked after an episode of NXT UK, and Trent Seven was more compromised because of his leg. And towards the end of the tapings that covered up all of November, Trent Seven came out to help Tyler Bate, who was being triple teamed, and out came Pete Dunne. So I was surprised that Gallus, this was not the finals. I was really surprised this was not the finals of Moustache Mountain and Gallus. Instead, they got the first round match. That would have been more obvious. But I have a feeling that the Grizzled Young Vets are going to win this by nefarious means. Trent Seven is going to be compromised by the end of this match, and this match What happens to Moustache Mountain in this match will bleed into the NXT UK Championship, and I'm starting to call it the NXT UK Championship because it should be called that. It shouldn't just be called the WWE United Kingdom Championship. You don't call the NXT Championship the WWE NXT Championship. So why don't we just rename it the NXT UK Championship? Either way, Grizzled Young Vets are going to win these. They probably won't hold them. They probably will hold them until the next takeover for these guys, which I'm hoping is not 2 weeks before WrestleMania. It's fine that they got 2 weeks before the Royal Rumble this week, as it's going to be taking place this Saturday. But I don't want to see this a trend where it's 2 weeks before we have an NXT takeover. Let's spread them out and give us an NXT takeover during the Big Four or Big Five, and give NXT UK other pay-per-view weeks as well. Now, Rhea Ripley versus Toni Storm. I see Toni Storm going to be winning this one for the simple fact is the whole thing came down to how the Mae Young Classic ended, and the Mae Young Classic was taped before. I think it was taped before this title was introduced, and Tegan Knox was supposed to win that. Tegan Knox was supposed to win the Mae Young Classic. Toni Storm was supposed to win the inaugural NXT UK Women's Champion, but having her win, because what they were going to do was have Tegan Knox win the Mae Young Classic, have Toni Storm win the Women's Championship, and then they were going to set up a match between these two at either Evolution or at this takeover, because it was going to be Tegan Knox versus Toni Storm in the finals of the Mae Young Classic, and Toni Storm would have lost, won this title, and then Tegan Knox would have had the right to come out and say, I beat you in the Mae Young Classic finals, I want a shot at the championship, and there you go. And Toni Storm, I see winning this one. Rhea Ripley has had this for well over 200 days, dating back to when she first actually won the thing. Toni Storm is going to win this. It's her time to reign supreme in the women's division and be that woman for the NXT UK brand for 2019. Pete Dunne versus Joe Coffey for the UK Championship. It has been 600 days from when I'm recording this, which is January 10th. 600 days. It'll be 602 days for Pete Dunne when we get to TakeOver Blackpool. He has held the title long enough, and I think Gallus is going to get involved. His brother Mark and Wolfgang are both going to get involved in this match. Trent Seven is going to be compromised. Talabate and Trent Seven might come out to help, but it's going to be not enough because Trent Seven is going to be beat down from the previous match that these guys had, and it's going to be a 3-on-2 or 3-on-1 affair, and Joe Coffey is going to be your new NXT UK champion coming out of TakeOver Blackpool. Pete Dunne has held it long enough, and honestly, if Pete Dunne does not lose this title at Blackpool, he's going to have a Bruno Sammartino reign because there's honestly nobody else in this division for him to lose this title to, plain and simple. He's had matches against Zach Gibson, Noam Dar, I think, Danny Burch. I'm sure there was another one in there too that I hadn't seen yet. But he's held this title for 600 days, and had he been the inaugural NXT UK, the inaugural champion, he would be over 760 days. So this dude, it's time to lose the championship. He's held it long enough. He has the longest reigning championship of any kind in the modern era. Even Brock Lesnar's championship reign that Roman Reigns beat could not match this. So it's time for Pete Dunne to lose this title. I say Gallus gets involved, and Joe Coffey will be your new NXT UK champion coming out. So let's review. We have Jordan Devlin over Travis Banks. It just seems like they are really behind Jordan Devlin. Dave Mastiff over Eddie Dennis, but since it is a no DQ match, I could see this going either way. This is definitely a coin flip. If it was a single one-on-one match, Dave Mastiff could probably win this, even though in the first match, nothing got settled, and that's why this is even happening. Pete Dunne versus Joe Coffey. I see Joe Coffey winning this. Grizzled Young Vets is going to win the titles due to Trent Seven's messed up knee. I don't know if it's still braced or not, but it's going to come into play. And Toni Storm will be your new NXT UK Women's Champion. That is going to be interesting to see what we have. I will be watching NXT TakeOver Blackpool, NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool, sometime Saturday. It might be live. It might be later in the afternoon. It depends on how things go for me on Saturday. I might be spending time with my girl and her boys. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But we will definitely have a review going up on Saturday. But that is going to be all. I will have Unscripted going up Saturday at noon. So that'll be going up, and then later that night we will have NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool one way or another. Let me know in the comment section below, of these 5 matches, who do you expect to win, and do you expect any nefarious things to happen in the tag team title match and the UK Championship title match? I think the Gallus will help Joe Coffey win the championship, and they could also cost the Moustache Mountain the championships. Or do you think that Moustache Mountain will win and Pete Dunne will retain, continuing his 600 and by that time 2-day reign? Or is 602 the final number for Pete Dunne? Find me on Twitter at TheFrance. Find me on twitch.tv/TheFrance08. I will hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. We will be here on Saturday afternoon at noon for AEW Talk, because there is so much to go over and a lot coming out of WWE this week as well. So expect a lot of All Elite Wrestling news, as well as some WWE news. And then, of course, NXT UK Blackpool, TakeOver Blackpool, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live, and NXT next week, followed by, of course, Unscripted 53. But that is going to be all. I will see you guys tomorrow for Unscripted. Until then, my name is TheFrance, and I will see you guys later.